Hello everyone and welcome to round 2 of the Generation 3 tournament. After miraculously winning round 1, I still don't know how I did it. Um, I now face Floorwalker in the second round. I still don't think I'll reach top cut, especially if the opposition is as strong as Further Andre was in round 1. I don't see myself topping. But like, I'll just keep trying. That's why I want a Gen 3 OU, just because it's interesting and I don't have any experience with it. Let's just fight. I'm opening with my Skarmory, where Floorwalker opens with their Tyranitar. Do they have Fire Blast? Do they not? They do have Taunt, and that's really annoying because I'm pretty sure my Skarmory doesn't actually have any damaging moves. It goes pure status. I send in my Salamence, knowing that Brick Break can one-shot a Tyranitar, because that's what happened in round 1. Here Brick Break happens, and it doesn't KO. And it is here that I realize, I'm not sure if it's right here or a bit later in this battle, but the Salamence from round 1 was likely choice banded. That's why it one-shotted my Tyranitar, which I suppose with just the 75 base bar move, it's 4 times effective without stab, makes sense. That's how it KO'd a quite highly defensive Pokemon as Tyranitar. Even if Salamence is high attack, so the previous one was like a choice bandit. I'm not. Pretty sure I just have leftovers on mine. So Taunt comes in on Tyranitar, stops my Dragon Dance. That's a good move on their part. So I just Earthquake, and they stop that too. So yeah, great start for me, not. They likely predict my switch in their Tyranitar. Taunts. Yeah, I do want to try something. Want to try to set up spikes, but with that, lose my turn. They set up their Dragon Dance, but I know that I'm pretty good with that. So they switch to Melodic. Earthquake comes in. Actually crits them for just over half. So that's pretty nice. If we can get that again, I can take him out. Unlikely, we'll see though. Sleep. Only bit of damage. I believe that's a Marvel scale ability, increasing their defense. Toxic comes through via Sleep Talk, however that doesn't hit Sleep. No, I believe this is where something really important happens. How many turns has Melodic been asleep? Because you normally stay asleep for 2 turns and then you wake up. It used Rest on turn 10. On turn 11 it used Sleep Talk and Sleep Talk into Toxic. So it was asleep for 1 turn, so it should have, when it's sent back in, 1 turn of sleep left. To my knowledge, nowhere in the game does Rest reset its sleep counter. This is important to remember for later. There should be 1 more turn of sleep left, and then it'll wake up. Meanwhile, while that Melodic has been out, my Skarmory is now setting up spikes. Skarmory did a thing. Yeah, look at that. Skarmory did a thing. Took me 12 turns to do so, though. Set up 1 layer of spikes. They send in Rock Slide to try and hit me after taunting me into using anything else. They send in their Skarmory, stopping my Earthquake. So that's not nice. They keep stopping my Earthquake. 2 things that are immune to it. Set up their own spikes. I try to Hydro Pump. Unfortunately misses. Now they Toxic me, and that's not good for me. And I only hit them for just over a third, and with their leftovers and not taking damage from Sandstorm, that's not good. So I switched to Gengar. Their Protect doesn't work because I didn't attack them. They're switched. I have Thunderbolts, but they have Snorlax, and actually Taunt's trying to stop the Skarmory from doing anything. And against Snorlax, that could still be nice. I tried to Will-O-Wisp him, but that doesn't quite work. I tried to stop... Billy Drum, I'm pretty sure did exist in Gen 3. So that's an option, otherwise it'll have things like Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Body Slam, something like that to try and work. So Will-O-Wisp would have been nice, didn't quite work. They have Shadow Ball, hit me pretty hard. And even if I hit them with Will-O-Wisp now, Kaboom will go out, but I decided let's just go with the burn anyway. They Shadow Ball do take out Gengar, but at least I have the burn off with Snorlax. Ascending Tyranitar, I'm not too afraid of that Snorlax, so I believe this is a Dragon Dance setup turn. Flygon comes in, which is pretty dangerous. It can hit me super effectively. I can only really hit it with Crunch. I don't think even half Crunch. I think it's Dragon Dance, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Hidden Power, Bug. So I didn't really have anything great against Flygon, so I just decided to switch. Unfortunately, I wasted with Dragon Dance. They switch into Tyranitar, try and stop me. I set up another layer of spikes. They use Taunt. I still try to use Whirlwind, hoping that they'll predict I do something else, but they keep doing it right. Their Dragon Dance comes through, and this is where they do stay in with an attack, because they likely know that once they send it back in, the 2 layers of spikes will take it out. I could have taken it out with Earthquake, but I didn't, because one, that would have been able to be blocked by either Skarmory or Flygon with them being immune, but also if I Roar, they don't get to choose what Pokemon comes in. The Pokemon that comes in could get hit by Burn if they're burned, which is this one, and Tyranitar will be taken up by the spikes anyway once it's sent back in. So a bit of extra damage on Snorlax here. That's 1/8 of his HP gone via Burn. They have Rest though, so that's the Burn and all the damage gone. So I just roar it back out. There's the Melodic. Remember, it still had 1 turn of sleep remaining. Meanwhile, I get Toxic. They're fast asleep. That's their 2nd turn of sleep. Nothing really happens there. I just roar them out. They should have no turns of sleep left of that Melodic. It should wake up next turn. Sceptile, their 6th Pokemon, is revealed. I'm pretty sure I just Toxic down. Yeah, Swampert is gone, and they actually take the lead 6-3. Substitute. I set up another layer of spikes. Good thing I didn't Toxic, the Substitute blocks that. But I know that I can just Whirlwind and get rid of that Substitute altogether. Whirlwinding and roaring with spikes, that is something that my team can do with 2 Pokemon with Roar and 1 with Whirlwind. So once the spikes are up, that is pretty nice that I can do that. I don't want their Melodic to heal much. This is where we get confused. The opposing Melodic is fast asleep. Both of us assumed that it would wake up. And I'm pretty sure there's chat after this about this. It should wake up. What? You had 2 turns of sleep already? It doesn't say anywhere on the counter resets in chat here. I checked on Bulbapedia. And he says, dude, this always happens on my Melodic for some reason. I don't know why. What if you sleep talk? Doesn't happen with Snorlax though. Sorry about that, man. So at this point, either Bulbapedia lists incorrect information, or there is some kind of glitch, or an incorrect programming error with Rest. Perhaps specifically on Melodic, perhaps not. But it is strange. So now we're like, when does it wake up? When doesn't it? Well, it stays asleep for another turn. As if the counter does reset. It does seem like it just fully resets now. So it should wake up this turn. Okay, it uses Rest. It has woken up. But in the meantime, Melodic has just fully healed. So that's not really nice. I use Toxic because I feel it'll wake up. Yeah, this isn't working. So I send in my final Pokemon, Vaporeon. They use Surf, but that actually heals me, so that's pretty nice. I like that. Yay for Water Absorb. Toxic, that's not good for Submarine. I don't like that, because Vaporeon likes to have a lot of HP install. Flygon coming out, I don't actually mind, because I can hit it with Ice Beam, but then Melodic comes straight back in. Let's see if there has been any resets. According to the new theory, Melodic should stay asleep for another 2 turns due to the resets. That is turn 1. And there is turn 2. It seems like it just resets and Bulbapedia lists incorrect information. So, I'm pretty sure that at this point in the match, with that, having seen that multiple times, I just assume Rest resets when you switch it out. Skarmory v Skarmory. I'm still thinking, how am I ever going to beat this? I need some kind of weird, good setup with Dragon Dance with Tyranitar or something, because otherwise things just aren't working. And that Melodic is going to be really hard to deal with as well. And yeah, look at this. Instant wake up. Huh? Last few times it was thrown out by Whirlwind as well. I'm pretty sure it was maybe once it was a regular switch, or the rest I think was Whirlwind or Roar. And then it seemed to get the reset, and now it's brought out by Whirlwind, but then Rest. How was it? How did it go out of the battle? Melodic is fast asleep. Yeah, I roared it out. So now I'm thinking, okay, so maybe there's a difference between switching it out and roaring and whirlwinding it out. Or even between roar and whirlwind, it either resets or doesn't. And I get even more confused, because, like, neither Floorwalker nor myself knows what is going on. Like, we could reset. Like, I can't force him to change his team and just reset the battle, because they used this team in the previous battle as well. But at the same time, neither of us can predict it, and the length of rest should be something you can predict, like the length of confusion, depending on the move, or whether you'll be fully paralyzed or not. Those things are up to chance. Those things you cannot predict, so they just happen, and you have to play around with that chance. The length of rest is always 2 turns. And to my knowledge, it just doesn't reset. I know that at some point, some kind of sleep did reset. I'm not sure which one. But Bulbapedia doesn't list anything about the move rest. That should be predictable, and neither of us can now predict it, which is strange. I believe we talk about it a bit more later in this battle, so we just decide to have the battle continue. And just go with it, and just hope this doesn't happen in any of their matches anymore. And not in mine either, because this is really interesting. What's that about? So the counter doesn't reset. This is a glitch after all. Yeah, as I just explained, I thought it was a reset, but it's not. Now, I don't know how to judge this match. If there's something we should be able to control that we cannot control, we'll have to deal with it. Yeah, we both agree. We just have to deal with it and keep going, and because I don't know what my theory is anymore on Melodic. It's just kind of a guess. Hidden power from Sceptile, critical hit, super effective, so it's fire perhaps. Tyranitar comes in through the whirlwind, which I don't like because this does give them a choice of what to switch in. And Floorwalker does ask, can I switch a set for the next match if I tell you what to switch it to? And I do stick to tournament rules saying that they can't do that. They should use the same Pokemon. And we just hope it just doesn't happen again. Skarmory out. Submarine comes in, Toxic, Spiked. Yeah, this isn't looking good. They just set up some more spikes for Tyranitar when it comes in later. This is a bit more Toxic. Pretty sure I have one more turn with whatever they do. Whirlwind to add to the spikes damage. They just need to Toxic Tyranitar and the game is over. Rock Slide, Flinch, sure, I might be able to get a KO, but that's about all I can do. Dragon Dancing doesn't make much sense because they can just Whirlwind me out. Flygon comes in. I've taken out 2 of their Pokemon, so that's pretty nice. This has been quite a long battle. Getting to turn 50 now. No, actually not. Turn 49. Spikes take out the Vaporeon. It was... I tried, but in the end they had the nice switches. They had good predictions also with the taunt against Skarmory all the time. They played better, but I feel that that's overshadowed. Yeah, I think overshadowed is the right term to use here, by the weird melodic rest thing. So please let me know if you know anything about that, what might have caused it, whether you think it's a glitch, or if there's just something we both don't realize that is happening here, which would make it predictable. Either way, that was game 1, and as you know, it's best 2 out of 3, so time for the next one. Do either of us switch elites? I do, because I didn't think that Skarmory would work. I expected them to go for Tyranitar. I send in my big bullet. They go for their Dragon Dance, but I remember from the last match, Salamence should still be faster. Nope. Isn't faster. Last battle, Salamence one-shotted the Tyranitar. I pretty much figured out now it's probably due to Choice Band. Last battle, Salamence at normal speed outspeeds a Dragon Dance Tyranitar. It doesn't happen here either. And unlikely in at this point I realize, oh yeah, I have a mixed mens and I don't have my max investment in speed, so that is likely why. Huh. Sometimes moves do a lot more than when I do the same thing in another match. Something like that. Round 1 should have known from back then what it would do. Anyway, Melodic comes in, Submarine comes in, and I'm just hoping, please don't do the rest thing again. They Toxic. Not sure if this is a prediction or not, but I stop with the Toxic with my Steel type. I send in my own Toxic, just to hope to be able to deal a lot. Switch again, predicting the taunt. This time it works out. I just can't use Roar. I can use my other moves. Hydro Pump comes in for pretty good damage. Gengar! I stop the Toxic there. Protect fails, so I get free switch, you could say. Do I Thunderbolt expecting the Flygon? No, I just Will-O-Wisp predicting a switch. I assume this was predicting the switch because Thunderbolt wouldn't have been able to be stopped by Flygon, so I was probably thinking, what else could I do? Ice Punch is an option in case Flygon comes in, but if it's not Flygon, then it could be something else. Was it Snorlax that came in on the Switch in the previous round? I don't quite remember. But if I remembered that, then that would have been a nice play for me. I don't remember. Like, it's been 1.5 months ago, so I don't quite remember everything that I thought. Nice hit, got the burn of Snorlax. I know that they can rest to get rid of it, but it's looking pretty good. We know they have rest, we know they have Body Slam, we know they have Shadow Ball. This seems like a nice moment to Dragon Dance, but I don't quite Dragon Dance, likely because I realized in the last match they switched to Flygon and it just completely made me waste my Dragon Dance, so I just Rock Slide instead, hoping I can at least do something that switches in. So I just continue Rock Sliding on that Skarmory, hopefully to deal some damage. They Toxic me, but I'm still dealing some damage to them. Likely there's a Protect coming here. I predict that get the Dragon Dance, which should allow me to, with Rock Slide, take out the Skarmory on this turn. Got it. This time the prediction does go my way. They send in Sceptile, likely not realizing I have Hidden Power, because I don't think I've used Hidden Power from Tyranitar yet. They substitute. I Hidden Power. They're still faster than me. That's an unfortunate thing, but even with this Toxic, with a bit of leftovers, I still have a few more turns to at least whittle them down. We are 5-5 in score, but I feel that this is the best way to go, just to get rid of their substitute. It is dangerous, though. I have to switch. Toxic's dealing too much damage. They actually don't substitute here. So they likely were trying to finish me up with Leaf Blade, knowing I had enough HP to be able to do that. Come substitute, I Ice Punch, get rid of it. Their Sceptile likely won't be able to do much. They might have Pataya Berry. If they do, would it have activated it? I don't know. Snorlax comes in and can block what Gengar can do, but they're still burned. Will they rest this turn? If they want to, I have Taunt. Oh, it's Curse, so that's Body Slam, Shadow Ball, Curse, and Rest. And with Taunt up, Snorlax has 2 turns where it cannot do that. They can hit me with Shadow Ball, but I crit them with Thunderbolt, so that's good. Shadow Ball only half damage thanks to the burn. And then the burn takes him out. Snorlax gone. Yes, that was a dangerous one, especially if it would have been able to get rest. Crit Thunderbolt! Whoa! Got him there! Lucky Auka! Am I gonna, like, win this battle just like I did the last one with some luck? Hidden Power doesn't quite take out Kaboom. That Sceptile going 5-4, 5-2 lead. Ice Punch and Flygon! 5-1! Milotic is the final one remaining! Am I gonna do this? I don't think Gengar can do it, but let's just deal some good damage. Okay, 4-1. We can do this. We can just take out Milotic. They rest, though, which gives them extra defense. Earthquake doesn't quite do much damage to him. Thinking, okay, how can I take him out? I could get to Tyranitar, like having Dragon Dancing up while they're asleep can probably do some good stuff. But I'm already Toxic, and I'm not that high HP, so unfortunately that's not an option. If it would have been a full HP, that would have been. Luckily, Toxic doesn't quite work there. I Earthquake. I'm just trying to do what I can with Swampert, because I realize that, sure, I have a pretty sure I have Pokemon Toxic. He has Skarmory. I think I just rest it off. But here I'm just hoping multiple crits with Earthquake, see what I can do. Another unfortunate thing is that they're faster, so they can always instantly rest, heal up, and then just hope that Sleep Talk will get them Toxic. Surf does quite a bit as well, although I don't take damage from Sandstorm. I do heal a bit from leftovers, but with multiple Surfs or just getting Toxic on me, that is amazing for them. That's what they're waiting for. But at this point, even though I'm 4-1 in the lead, I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure how to deal with this Milotic. I'm just hoping for multiple crits, and then that's it. This is taking a while, and in the end, because they use rest, I have a feeling they're going to PP stall me out of Earthquake, so I need to switch. I need to come up with something else. What am I going to do, though? So they Surf me again. I Earthquake, get the crit, but I need multiple crits to take him out. What could I do with potential switching that helps? Hydro Pump, potentially, if I hit with the help of Torrent, if I'm below a third, and then ignoring their defense boost from Marvel's skill, I could do some fancy things, but I need to be below 1/3 for that. So, Earthquaking doesn't really work, and I'll be out of Earthquake soon enough. So instead I Hydro Bomb, potentially hoping I'll be below a third. It does work. I deal just slightly more damage, but it's the best I can do, I feel, with Earthquake not doing what I want, not dealing enough damage. I get Toxic, so that puts me on a timer, even if they don't surf. They wake up, just use a rest, playing it safe. Go to sleep once more. I Earthquake, yeah, and I was just hoping they wouldn't rest. But they do. And I'm on a timer. This is bad. And I'm right, this is going to take a while. Which means I'm going to switch it up to fast. They surf, Swampert gone, what do? Skarmory, go. They wake up, they're still at quite high HP, so I'm Toxicking, let's see what they'll do. The unfortunate thing is I can't force a switch through Spikes or Whirlwind, so Skarmory can barely do anything. They can Toxic something, they can Protect. Spikes is useless, Whirlwind is useless, because they only have one Pokemon. And they just rest, as you can expect. Toxic gone. Their timer is gone. Great. So I just Protect, hopefully not get hit by a Surf, because Toxic doesn't actually affect Skarmory, so having them not having power points for... Well, having them not having any power points for Surf would be nice, just so Skarmory would survive. I Toxic, I go second, so I can do that. The question is, when will they rest? They have a few turns where they could use something. They likely Protect here, use Toxic just to waste it, because they know that it doesn't work on Skarmory, and Tyranitar has already done that anyway, so I just decide to waste a turn and set up Spikes. Want to do something. Toxic, Protect, yeah, this is kind of a PP stall war now. I'm hoping I can somehow get them with the Toxic, but as you can expect, they rest here. I do predict that go into Tyranitar, but what am I trying to do with Tyranitar? Because Skarmory is just not able to do much. I Dragon Dance for a turn. I'm already poisoned, so Toxic doesn't do much here. I heal a bit, but obviously get damaged. Rock Slide, I just hope with the Dragon Dance I can deal good damage. Maybe with a crit, I can deal major damage and still double damage in Generation 3 with a crit, unlike, I think, Gen 6 and onwards times 1.5. They rest, so unfortunately, strategy I trying to get a crit doesn't quite work. Timer on Frozen Beast runs out, that's it. Vaporeon is in. Vaporeon has Water Absorb, so Surf doesn't do anything. The only thing Vaporeon can be taken out by is Toxic. The only thing Skarmory can be taken out by is Surf. And the only thing that Melodic can be taken out by is continuous crits, or Floorwalker forgetting to use Rest at the right time. As I said at the start of turn 40, it's going to take a while, and at that point it had already taken a while. Not really, spoiler alert. We're far from done. Vaporeon has Wish, that is revealed now, and that can heal my Skarmory. That allows me to heal up Skarmory a bit. Protect allows it to heal a bit more leftovers. And by that, switching back and forth can help me heal. I could heal with Wish and then Protect on Vaporeon as well. However, then Toxic will just be able to still damage me, so Vaporeon does need to switch out every few turns to be able to stay alive. So it's sort of a prediction game, because Vaporeon would really like a Surf to come its way to heal some more through Water Absorb. And at some points it is really easy. Set up, use Wish, maybe if I just Protect here or do something else with Submarine, sure, I get the healing from Wish, but then the Toxic will be 2 turns further if I use Wish again and try to switch to Skarmory. So it's not really helping. Get some more Toxic damage using Wish. I decide not to go for it, just switch. They Toxic, go back here. I am Power Punch stalling dodge. this is important. They crit with Surf. If they get the Surf off again, they get it. I protect because they almost have to Surf here. They actually don't like me predicting they protect, which is in a way a risky play, but a good play. Here I did predict the Surf, and likely they also didn't use Surf previously because they might have predicted a switch to Vaporeon. But they just need Surf to take out Skarmory. So potentially they just need to take a Vaporeon first, but Vaporeon can just continuously switch in. The only thing it can get damaged by is the Toxic that's already on it, and I can just wish to heal itself and then wish back to Skarmory. Submarine is at somewhat low HP, especially after this, but I just need to get that wish onto Skarmory, otherwise Skarmory just dies from any stray Surf that might happen during a turn it doesn't use Protect. So, okay, I get Toxic off of Milotic. Skarmory is a pretty good health, but my main problem is Submarine isn't. I predict the Surf correctly, get some health on here, get a bit of a buffer to use Wish. That is nice to have. They rest, get rid of that Toxic early. And meanwhile, we're 50 turns after I took out their 5th Pokemon. I wish I Surf to get some damage off, meanwhile. Heal up. Get damage from Sandstorm, heal a bit with lefties. Get some damage from Toxic again. Use Wish, get some more damage. Heal a bit more, get some more damage. But I'm still at 50. And I switch to Skarmory. They get the Surf off, which is nice, but I do heal back up with Wish, which is more than what they do with Surf. If they would have gotten a crit there, that would have been important, because at some points, any crit, any second crit from Surf on Skarmory would have taken out Skarmory, and that would have put my Vaporeon on a timer with Toxic because I couldn't switch. And that would have been the win for them, but they didn't get that crit Surf, that second crit Surf when they needed it, unfortunately for them. So, the battle continues. Meanwhile, we're at turn 85. It's a prediction game of when to Surf and when to rest and when to do anything else, because they don't want to run out of power points. They do want to get me with the Surf on Skarmory, because as soon as Skarmory is out of the way, they can take off Vaporeon. Likely taking off Vaporeon isn't going to happen unless I make a weird mistake, because the only thing I can get damaged by is the Toxic that's already on me. Nothing that Melodic can throw at me. So the only thing they can do themselves is keep themselves healthy and just take out Skarmory, but Skarmory with that wish from just now is already healed back up. So as I say here, I will throw spikes until there's a tower around you and you cannot even lie down to rest. So yeah, I just waste some of my turns using spikes, using Whirlwind, which are completely useless. I switch back into Submarine. They use rest pretty early to play it safe, but this does mean that they'll have a turn less of rest. And with the Wish, with the Protect, but also with quite a lot of switching that it's regular switching, it's not even Baton Pass, it's regular switching. And on that turn, I don't use a power point to use a move, and they do use power points. Rest every 3, 4, 5 turns, depending on when they do it. Sleep Talk during the 2 turns that they are asleep. And then occasionally Toxic or Surf otherwise. Sure, if they use Sleep Talk and then use Toxic or Surf through that, they don't use the Toxic or Surf power point, but they do use for Sleep Talk. So eventually they'll run out of Sleep Talk as well. Potentially that's here, potentially they haven't quite run out yet. I didn't keep count in this while recording this replay. But potentially they've run out of their Sleep Talk, potentially they haven't, but they just want to keep it for a different moment. They almost have to Surf here, but I Protect, get some healing, get some damage off there for Toxic. They are on a timer, so they will have to rest at some point. They rest quite early once again. I just spike some more, create a tower around them. If anyone wants to rewatch this video and figure out how many layers of spikes I put up, be my guest. Turn 101! We're getting there! And at this point I think, okay, we're over 100 turns. I'll just take a screenshot of where our match is right now, and I put it in our Discord chat saying, this is a preview of our battle that you'll get to see later. Over 100 turns. You don't see that often, and yeah, PowerPoint Stall Wars can happen sometimes, but doing it like this with switches and with Wish, while Toxic isn't playing one of the Pokemon, I probably have seen something like it before, but this is pretty darn crazy. I can be happy that Skarmory is immune to Toxic, or I wouldn't have been able to survive this. Just so you know, we're still not done, and assuming I win, we have another battle to do after this. Toxic misses, unfortunately, so that helps them. Something can miss. I protect, predicting another Surf. Works. So that's one more power point for Surf gone. It's really just a power point stalwart while keeping an eye on my own power points and doing a bit of predictions with when Surf comes out. On Smogon, you can see power points. Smogon Showdown does assume that there's PP maxes and everything. That's a default as well. So at this point in the battle, I can see how many power points they have per move. So I likely know that they'll have very little or nothing on some of their moves. And Floorwalker realized they likely can't win, and I feel that's the case as well. Also, I just realized my microphone wasn't in the proper position, so if you've not been able to hear me properly for the past, I don't know how long, I'm very, very sorry. I do want to just finish this battle completely until struggle happens. So I asked them, please keep that going. It's been a really long ride, but it's been an exciting one in a way. 10 layers of spikes apparently at this point. Melodic wakes up, uses Surf. Toxic. So much damage, like both leftovers healing, both like one with sandstorm damage, then the Toxic. So many things happening in between turns. I just used another protect. Potentially they only have Surf remaining. I don't quite know. Get the Vaporeon switch. Yes. Here is struggle. They are out. I use Wish just to play it safe, just to survive. Struggle. Doesn't work like in later generations, so I finish it off with Surf. No struggle. No poison, no sandstorm that takes them out. It is a regular move, it is Surf that does it. Wow. 114 turns, did not see that coming. Are we done? Well, the first battle took some time, and we're now over 30 minutes into the video, but sorry people that were hoping for a short video, that was only battle 2. We're 1-1. We go into battle 3, and I'm just really hoping we don't get into another stall war, which is very well possible. We open Tyranitar, and Salmons once again. I now know he can take me out with the Rock Slide, so I switch to my Swampert to resist it. Doesn't do much damage, which I'm very happy about. I hit with leftovers, don't take damage from Sandstorm. Hydro Pump. I could have probably done it with Earthquake as well, but they can stop that with Skarmory and Flygon, so I Hydro Pump to deal damage to potential switches from them as well. I set in my own Skarmory. Here comes the Skarmory battle. Bird fight! Both setting up spikes. Who's gonna Whirlwind first? I'm just gonna set up more spikes. I know my Skarmory doesn't take damage from it, my Gengar doesn't, and they have their Skarmory and their Flygon. And now it's a matter of likely speed ties, and they win it there, getting the Whirlwind. I send in my Gengar, immune to Toxic. I quite like that. Having them waste a turn. Let's see what the chat is about here. I thought the only the one that goes last work must be a different generation. Yeah, I checked Wikipedia because I remember that if both Pokemon use Whirlwind, then only the one that goes last is successful, but judging by what I wrote here, that is only the case in Generation 2, so in Generation 1 and also in later generations, so Gen 3 as well. If multiple Pokemon use Whirlwind at the same time, the one that goes first just works and it doesn't fail. I get the burn on Snorlax again, which is really important. Get the taunt in case they want to rest, because I am afraid of that. Shadow Ball hits me for under half. I like that. Taunt, I believe in Generation 3, only lasts for 2 turns, so I don't like that. Get the Thunderbolt. They Body Slam like predicting a switch. Doesn't quite work for them. They heal. They get burn damage. Taunt is gone, so I need to take them out this turn in case they want to rest, which I likely were trying to do. So Ice Punch takes them out in case they wanted to switch to Flygon. I take the lead. Melodic is here. Please, please, please let me take out the Melodic, because that just gets rid of that Stall War possibility. I am faster. Thunderbolt. Melodic gone. 6-4 lead somehow, and we're not going to get that Stall War. Sceptile. Is it faster? I don't remember. It is. Takes out Gengar. I let that happen. I'm still in the lead. I send in Skarmory. They send in. They use Substitute, potentially predicting my Toxic. Well done there. I can't do much else except Whirlwind, which I'm okay with considering that just gets rid of the Substitute. Flygon send in though, and that doesn't really work for me. They send in their Skarmory. Toxic, yeah, doesn't work. Skarmory comes in. There's Leech Seed on mine. They predict a switch doesn't work. I just Whirlwind. Send their Flygon again, Skarmory. I just told you I'd outgo when their Flygon to be sent in. They just switch their Skarmory in again. I use Whirlwind again. Damage their Tyranitar. I'm okay with that. There's 3 layers up, so it's 25% damage. If I would have Whirlwinded there, then that Tyranitar would have been taken out. However, I decide to switch out, predicting the Taunt, most likely, which they actually don't do this time. They Rock Slide again, Submarine uses Surf, Tyranitar down, 5-3 is the score. Sceptile comes in, it's ready to take out Submarine. I could Protect, but really what's it gonna do? And switching doesn't help because 3 layers of spikes would take me out. Anyway, 4-3, Salamence is still there. And in the previous 2 battles, it wasn't able to do too much. Now it is here. I feel that I don't need to take the risk with Fire Blast. I don't. Dragon Claw takes it out. 4-2. Am I somehow going to win this extremely difficult battle again, like in round 1? Rock Slide. Steelbird doesn't take much damage. Do they have Fire Blast? Is that a choice Flygon? Potentially, because they switch out, or they just don't have Fire Blast. Toxic doesn't work on Skarmory. I get the Whirlwind this time. But they only have Flygon, so what's it really going to help me? They do have Fire Blast, so most likely they are choiced. Toxic does go off on the Flygon, so that puts that on a timer. That is helpful. I actually take less damage than they expected. From the Fire Blast, I Protect. Whirlwind doesn't work. I get some healing, that's why I did it. Then my Whirlwind goes first, which I'm okay with. They get toxic damage. And considering they don't heal with leftovers, that suggests quite strongly that they are choiced. They switch. Was it a switch? Yeah, they switched. I get Whirlwind off. That's toxic damage on the Flygon. I get some more healing in the meantime, that's really important. Then they finally get the Whirlwind, which they needed. Swampert comes in, but it's still Swampert, Salamence, and Tyranitar in the back, and I'm pretty sure that Salamence has Fire Blast for Skarmory, and Swampert has Ice Beam for Flygon, so it is looking very good. There's a timer on Swampert, though, with Toxic, but I have switch options. Let's see what happens. They try Double Protect, doesn't work. I Hydro Pump, I miss, so that allows them a bit more time. Do they Protect? I send in my Skarmory. They try to Protect to get me more Toxic damage. Doesn't quite work because of my switch. Now they Protect. Let's see what happens. It's a Whirlwind War again. Let's see who wins the speed tie. They get it this time, which is exactly what they need. The only chance they have. My Frozen Beast. Can't really do much against their Pokemon. I Dragon Dance to try and get a bit more damage in than I otherwise would be able to. Get the crit on Skarmory! Is this it then? Is this it then? The Toxic is already there. I can stall. They can't do much damage. If they are choice, then they have only Rock Slide, and that's it. They Rock Slide. I Rock Slide. A lot of damage. I think it's one more turn of Toxic. Rock Slide doesn't take me out. Is there a flinch? No. Rock Slide Flygon down! Down! And somehow, and I do not believe this, I do not believe this. I said at the start of the tournament, if I'd be happy with 5th or 6th, but I won the first 2 rounds. Sure, this doesn't confirm a top cut. I could still lose twice and not make top cut. But both of these battles, round 1 and round 2, were so difficult, and both were so close. And I lost the first battle of both as well. And then somehow I come through. I believe it was in round 1 that I got a bit of luck in the second of 3 battles that worked well. Here I got it in the third, and I won the stall war in the second one. Wow. Okay. So, let's have another close but exciting, really difficult battle in round 3. Because even though I prefer, in a sense I just prefer to easily win. This is really exciting and just a lot of fun. And I'm learning a lot about Gen 3 competitive. I'm just having so much fun in this tournament. I'll see you soon in round 3. Till then, goodbye.